Morning, Jimbo. Morning. Looks pretty good outside, eh?
Yeah.
Know this.
Oh. If you say so.
It's missing pieces on the other side.
It's missing quite a bit, actually.
Oh, why not? That's all I'm thinking. Why not? Oh, John's getting ready already.
What was the matter with the tractor? Battery.
You had all the wires in the right
I
place?
cleaned up all the wires. The 3 wires?
We're going to put a floor in this thing for Jim.
Once it was started?
Just paying forward. That's all I'm doing, paying forward. We're going to put a floor in this thing. He wants to rally it around the yard here. But this is what we're starting with. And we'll just go front to back. We'll put a floor in it. And we'll basically show you how to make something out of nothing real quick if possible. That's what we'll do. I will not probably do hourly videos on this. I'll probably just go at it, and then we'll show you the next day where we're at, because we'll want to do it as quick as possible. Sometimes doing the hourly videos slows me up because Jolene has to do something, and there's things that have to be done. And there's a lot of stuff that we do that you don't see, that we're cleaning up and that sort of stuff, moving things around. Doesn't need to be seen, but that's what happens. Doug's looking chipper this morning. Huh? Doug's looking chipper this morning. John's doing the normal thing, working while we're talking. Right, John? Huh? You're doing the normal thing, working while we're talking.
Gearing up for the,
You got the winch on her now.
Oh, this trailer looks a little safer than the last one I saw here.
Yeah? Is that right?
It's the same one, isn't it?
Same trailer.
Same trailer? Oh my lord, I had visions of it going up like 15 feet in the air. Well, it looked like it when I was in the truck anyway. It's funny how a person's thinking back alters the facts like that.
This side's mint.
Well, what's wrong with the other side?
Well, the other side's got the sill on it.
Oh,
That's what you call sectioned. This is a section.
yeah.
And you mean,
Well, it makes the truck thing look pretty high though.
you know what I'm saying? By section, that means section. What you
Well,
take the sill off,
it's
right?
the same as that Ferrari when it's sitting outside, where the bottom 7 inches is painted black.
Yeah.
It looks like like it's way up in the air when actually it isn't, because you can't see the black because it's in the shadows.
There you go.
But if it was red, paint right to the ground, it would be a different story. But
Geez, I like that. It's nice, isn't it? I have a 55 Mercury that I call Elvis that I've chopped.
that should freewheel actually.
I had nothing with it, no glass with it when I started. I just chopped it and went with it. But I really like that. I would cut that off and throw it in the back of a chop. And then when I cut that off there, I just take a piece of ramrod and I finish that on the roof.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's nice. I like how it lays down. Nice. That's nice.
Yeah, it's too bad they crushed all the cars around here years ago. Because there's nothing anywhere. You know, any car that's in Nova Scotia, I think, has been brought in. To save myself a lot of grief and money, when I go to put the windshield in, I'm going to cut the rubber and put the rubber in, then get like windshield glue,
You think?
run a bead, drop the windshield in place, then put more glue on it, and then put the other half the rubber back on, and then fill the whole groove full of seam sealer, and then stick the chrome in.
Okay. Yep.
It's a one shot kind of idea, but geez, it'd be $1,000 to have somebody put the windshield in, and it's $800 for a new rubber.
Wow.
I didn't buy one. The old rubber is quite hard, but it's usable. But that also makes the riskiness of putting the windshield in, because the rubber's old
Right.
and hard.
Yep.
Like the chances of him putting the windshield in without breaking it are almost nil.
Yeah.
But I can cut the rubber in two, stick it in glue, and stick the rubber back on, and glue it all in, and put the chrome back in. And as long as somebody doesn't throw a rock through it,
As far as that goes,
forever.
I could make you one out of Lexan.
Well, I already bought the
plexiglass.
windshield.
Yeah, I
but
know,
I
but-
don't, like as I said,
That's good.
how much money do you invest in like junk, so to speak. You know, like.
Okay. Everybody's gonna think you sold it. You won't criticize me when I get done with you. Yeah? Seats don't work, you got me pissed.
No, not really. But I understand if you cut everything out of the way that's in your way, then you can make your own construction and then you just lay it for it.
Will you come over and see
But
what I'm
when
doing?
you try to fit it in with the original, you're there forever trying to fit it all
I tell you
around.
how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a piece of square tubing, and I'm going to, on the inside of the door, see the inside of the door, the inside sill there? On the inside of the door, from in here to there, I'm going to run a piece of square tubing all along there. I'm going to square tubing up along your firewall, all along your tunnel, and then I'm going to lay cross members. And then I'm just going to put metal on top of it.
Yeah, and cut out anything that's in the way.
Maybe.
Kind of like.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, probably, yes. But I'm just going to say metal cross there. I'll put an inside sill in there, square tubing.
And it's not important to have the loop for the spare tire.
Oh, geez. I hope not.
You know what I mean? Like you can just lay that right in flat.
Okay.
The car, like if someone in the future ever wants to put it on the road, they can cut it out and put a loop in for the
This
spare
right here,
tire.
I just take a piece of square tubing, try to get it up in there, so I can maybe I don't know, put a sill on that somehow. I can put a sill on that somehow.
The problem really is the inner sill.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be on the inside, so we'll be able to lay the full sheet. We'll see what happens.
Also, the front springs got those little spin-in things to stick the front end way up in the air.
People on the YouTube station are going to think we're crazy.
You know, like they should be all knocked out, and then the front end could sit an inch or two lower.
Yep.
But
You
anyway,
can take some padding of the seat. You should. Oh, you want to put you got the original seat for it?
yeah, I got all. Yeah, I have
See,
everything.
See, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a piece of square tubing, put it in here, and run it from there all the way up the front there. And then I'm going to run square tubing all along that, square tubing all along that, and I'm going to go cross member, cross member, cross member, cross member, cross member.
Yeah.
Put new panels on it. I can cut that out of the way or leave it. This stuff is part of the chassis. And now, what's this here? Cross member to the
That
old
would
floor.
be the floor holder together to bolt it to the frame.
That's coming out of there.
Yeah,
That's
and
all
there's quite a few of them.
Well, we'll just mount it down
Yeah.
a couple times.
Yeah.
So you got one there. We can mount it
Yeah.
to.
There's holes everywhere.
Right. So
Like
we can
that.
just square
Yeah.
tube it across and mount it anywhere. And then we'll just speed roll some panels and lay down on top of it.
Yeah.
After I get it done, you want to
Like
fix it right up.
the metal that's underneath the back seat isn't really that bad. But you do whatever you,
We won't cut out anything that we don't have to. That's for sure.
Yeah. you know, unless it makes it complicated to fix the edges.
And you said that you wasn't gonna what can I say? You wasn't gonna tell me how to do it one bit.
No, I don't think I have.
Put an extra one on there.
Oh, don't hook onto the control arms.
Why is that?
God only knows how well they're hooked on.
Well,
I'd
they
go
just,
right into the frame.
it just pulled the car up, so it's good.
Yeah, okay.
It's good. All safe. Geez, Jimmy, you wouldn't want me driving around the dooryard. Your control arms rough.
Well, I know on the Studebakers, the truckers hooked on to the control. Actually, they hooked onto the tie rod end bars.
Yeah, that's
Just bent them right into the frame, and the wheels went like this.
No, we're nowhere there. They're only just holding it down now.
I don't think.
I like the headlights on these cars too.
I don't think the hood will open. I know it's quite a little chore to get the hood open. You know,
I don't want to get.
catches.
I don't want to go any further than I have to. I said the floor.
Yeah, no, I mean on the way home.
Oh, okay.
I think it's latched down now. I know you have to reach in here and fiddle and pry back and forth, but it does open.
You should almost get your paintbrush out and get her a blue and white paint job again. Or you're gonna go psychedelic on it.
Oh, I'll let that. I'll have to be spontaneous at the time. I can't really answer that question right now.
You painted that Trans Am and it had all kinds of different shapes on it
Yeah.
that night. Wow, it was like
Yeah,
was
I
quite something
could have
else,
had
that
a
was.
little bit different color scheme now.
that was quite something else. It was. Never seen nothing like that before.
Yeah.
He's walking on the roof.
Where do we have them at? Okay. Could be. Okay. Could roll with. Okay. Go.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I've been reading on how to replace the exo boots on the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Quite a little job.
What are you gonna just keep working on that damn thing?
Tell you the truth, the car really is one of those things I believe a person could work on every day the rest of their life.
There you go. There you
And
go.
then start again.
And start again. Go
And
back
there'd still
over.
be here and there. There'd still be things that don't work.
You know, summer's here. Mosquitoes are out.
But the exo boots are on the outer side. They're well weathered. They're
Yeah.
not cracked through, but there's a working crack.
Yeah.
And
You wanna keep-
right or wrong, I cleaned them up real good and I smeared silicone on them.
Yeah.
And then I waited a day, pushed the car ahead about 4 feet, so I had another section, and then I smeared silicone on it. And I'm on the last section now. Another few hours, I can push it ahead again, just to buy me a little bit of time. But I guess you don't have to worry about dirt going in. It's the grease coming out is the problem. Like if they crack open, the grease comes out.
Yeah.
And then it ruins the exo.
Gotcha.
It's not that dirt goes in, it's that the grease comes out and then there's no lubricating. But I'm just I'd like to drive it a little bit, and where they're not cracked open, the silicone seems to be sticking, but I'll keep an eye on it. Like
Yeah, just drive and keep an eye. You wouldn't wear it
as
like
soon
in a
as
couple
I see
drives.
that it's cracked, I'll be pulling the exos and reading that internet thing step by step and
Gotcha.
stuff. I bought the boots, but I read, and it is quite a little procedure.
Okay.
You wouldn't want to pay anybody to do it.
And the boots probably cost more than the boots on our feet, do they?
No, the boots were cheap, but the labor to have someone do it, the whole job would be days of work. Almost as much work as putting the floor in this thing.
Almost.
Somewhere between bizarre and
Jeez, they're fighting to get in my
insane.
ear.
Yeah, you guys brought them because they weren't here. They weren't here a few
What
months
do you think I
ago.
smell? John checked himself over before we came. He doesn't smell.
Oh, I got some more Hudson junk I have to.
Disperse.
I'll be 1 sec. I gotta grab stuff.
Used to get a worker comes with the trailer. He loads her up. Brings the trailer. Can't ask any more than that. That'd be quite a camper sled, wouldn't it? Well done, John. Well done. I'm going over to take a look around now. Let's get in and take a look at this truck. Jim's got the exact same truck in there, but a little better shape. This one's he's gone down. Even though that's in the ground like that, it's still got some good sheet metal. Like that back fender's still good sheet metal. And two back fenders can build you the back end of a car. Right? But anyways, this is Jim's lawn art. And it's a good looking truck. I can say one thing, you know, it's not beyond repair for me, but there's a lot of small pieces that have to be fixed, but I really do enjoy the box shape, you know, the shape of this box that fits in fenders. I don't know where else there was a box made like that. And it's got two really nice box sides on it. You know what I mean? Where it's shaped like that and down around the top. They went through all that beautiful metal work to make that. Then they put a mailbox window in the back. Crazy. Must have, we're all done. Oh, we forgot the back window. Let's put a back window in it. And put a mailbox window in it, right? It even had a metal floor in the day, by looks of things. Not many trucks in the 30s had metal floors in them, I don't think, but I'm sure, to be honest with you. But it's a very, come over and look at this piece here. That's so nice. I don't know if the piece is on the other side, but this piece right here. You know what I mean? People try to make that stuff nowadays. I mean, that box is something else. And that piece down there like that, no shape. I like that it has the cutouts are nice. The windshield. This is exactly what we're going to try to do. Exactly. And get James on the front. I think he's going to give Doug some more pictures of the Hudson.
That's the package that they gave me for doing the doors. I never put them on.
Oh, that's still in that wood.
In that box.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
But all those rubbers are for putting the door rubbers. There's about 3 different types of rubbers to go all around.
Okay.
Quite involved and quite complicated.
Yeah.
But we spent a couple of days. But anyway, that's what it looked. Okay. Which one's first? This one's first because it's under the pallets.
Yeah.
We spent, I spent almost a week straightening out the cab and hammering out the fenders just to get it looking that good. And then I got a camera and I took a picture. But that's after we straightened the fenders in the cab. And then there's a couple weeks later when I headed up on blocks. But the truck was really seriously smashed up. The fenders were crushed right into the body, and the cab was crushed so bad the seat was against the steering wheel, and the doors were pinned closed, or they would have been ripped off. But I never should have. Like the romance of, oh my lord, first Hudson truck I ever seen and I bought, and I was there working on it for years. But this is actually the kind of what it looked like.
And I made a heat shield up right of the carburetor.
Just all this square tube it up.
Coming up the, and I rerouted the
But that's
vacuum line.
to help. Well, you don't know.
I've had it running in the yard for half an hour, and it still runs fine in the yard. I haven't had it
starts when you turn it off.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, that's kind of positive.
Yes, I think.
Somebody put on one of the comments about the points, after 200 or 300 miles, you don't, when the thing's starting to act up, you don't take the points out and put new ones in, you just readjust them. I kept replacing them. But anyway, live and learn.
I was looking to see if I could find any rims that have these on, because I've got to make some of those up to put the hubcaps on with. And I see the old one down here had 5 on it.
They might not accommodate themselves with those rims that you have.
I can make one that does.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't be exactly like that, but those are good patterns to.
Well, any rims over there you see, you can take them. They're just there.
The one with the clips on is under the car.
Oh.
You just want the 4K? Under this great front fender here?
Yeah. They're still in the hole.
Upstairs it's quite something else, buddy, but the everything.
Yeah, there's a couple there. I would say you might be better off just making them, because those, you bend them a couple times, are going to break.
Oh, I know. I just for a sample and how they're on there.
Oh, this one, they're all broken off the original rim, aren't they?
Yeah. And here's a different version on these.
Yeah, that's Studebaker.
Yeah. But that's the kind of thing I got to make up. I just got to get. Last time I was doing clips, I used hacksaw blades. And heated them cherry red to shape them. And then when they're back in shape, they're.
And heat them to drill a hole.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get the right shape, I should be able to make those.
Considering how many clips you need and to fit them in and bend them all so they'll work and actually work, boy, that's a fairly time-consuming job.
Well, once you've done one, then the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
three
it's
go
just
easy.
the setup of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
first is the hard
Yeah.
part.
If you don't mind,
Oh,
I'll take that as a
Oh,
sample.
yeah. Oh, no, good. I'm not gonna. You don't have to take them all.
No.
But yeah. No, you're more than welcome. I know there's a couple in the garage, but yeah, I think the only thing that's in the garage is Studebaker that are good that I may use.
Yes.
You know, like out here is pretty well where I put stuff that I didn't have any plans on using.
Yeah. Yeah, those are just riveted on.
Oh, here's a. There's a couple more.
Do that now, would you?
Oh, yeah, you better take these.
So that even got the original pinstriping on them.
Yeah.
Watch it there, man.
Oh, jeez.
Got your foot wet, didn't you?
I almost knocked that one right in.
Oh, those are Studebaker too?
No idea.
No,
No, that's Hudson wheel pattern.
Is it?
But Hudson had three. Oh, that could be Hudson, because it's got 3 slots. Three holes here.
How many's that got?
That's what for.
Yeah. This would be somebody else. Like,
Studebaker.
there was no, not Studebaker, but that wheel pattern is like Dodge.
Okay.
Small bullhole fours.
Yeah. So, and that's Hudson. So, this wheel pattern's the same, but there's a few cars, of course, that had that wheel pattern. But Studebaker was either smaller or bigger.
But you think that's Hudson?
I think so, because it has 3 spots.
He's trying to get you to take
I
it.
think this wheel is the same as that one I showed you over there. I think that's original Hudson wheel.
Jim, we're gonna throw them cups.
Oh, anywhere. In the garage.
Yeah.
I try not to throw too much garbage out here, but in there I can't keep up. I plan on cleaning, same as in the house, and planning wipes me out. Wipes me out. Not even lifting a finger. I'm already overwhelmed and I don't clean. I did do the dishes the other day though, and this morning my water pump had no water. The electric motor ran all night long.
Son of a gun.
This has been 2 years now. Can't keep my water pump running, keeps air locking. And it was the check valve open, stuck open, and the water was going back down the well, and then the pump stuck there and then over airlocked. But
You want me to take them?
the valve's working fine, but it's still, I don't leave the hot water tank turned on anyway, but I'm gonna start now turning off the water pump at nighttime.
Yeah.
You know, that way it'll, because it turns right back on, but if I leave it on, then as I said, when it can't get up to pressure, the pump won't turn off and the electric motor gets hot and
Things
it just
aren't
pumps
good.
and pumps and pumps and pumps and pumps.
Gotcha.
You know, so anyway,
I've had a few
but
water
it's
problems
funny
in the
how the problems I have never seem to go away. I'm very successful in some things, but some of the little problems that I have, I cannot lick them. Like as I said, I rebuilt every single thing in this pump, and I've had every problem that it could have, yet it still works exactly the same each and every day. And only 4 or 5 days, and all of a sudden it's airlocked, and I've rebuilt it, and I've had it apart at least 25 times. I'm almost bad with water pumps as I was that Hudson. Maybe I shouldn't even drive this
Should take a look
Ferrari.
in the garage. You got it
Maybe
open,
the
got it
Ferrari
opened
should
up.
just stay right in. Maybe I should put the Ferrari in the
garage
house.
Can we go in the garage for a second?
Yeah,
Get it all
yeah.
opened up.
I got more junk for Doug in there.
Oh, looks all opened up. Usually it's full of cars. Isn't it? You must be feel good with that, don't you? When it's all opened up like that?
Yes.
Man, big difference.
I drained the gas out of this thing this morning.
I can see right through there. That's cool.
Yeah, the building.
Here's how he lines the cars, Emma.
Anyway, yeah, here's
Looks different, don't it?
here's
right down to
another one of these
Oh, yeah.
visible things.
Oh, yeah.
And there's those handles that I told you to break off. And
perfect.
that, in case you want to take the rear view
Beautiful
mirror
here.
off.
Yeah.
That's what that is. And here's some spare, a little tiny bit of paint. It's urethane. You have to put hardener in it for the dash.
Okay.
That matches.
Yeah.
And that's a homemade mixture, so
Yeah.
it doesn't match. It doesn't have a code.
Yeah.
Like the guy couldn't get the exact color, and he gave it to me for like $10 because he messed up. And he said, I don't know what I did, so I didn't write it down, but it can't be matched unless someone wants to guess at it. But anyway, there is a little bit of paint left there for
So what breaks on those?
the handle right here from people pulling on the door handle. Because see, in the 50s, all door handles were pull out, and in the 40s, they were turned down. And Hudson made their handles look so sleek, they looked like they pulled out. So people grab hold of them in their monkey metal, and they just break off underneath the chrome.
Oh, here.
Right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is underneath the chrome. One
Yes.
little tab with one little screw.
Yeah.
Actually, it's on this side. Because the handle, the chrome goes here.
Yeah.
And that was, somebody did that. This is supposed to stick out here 1/2 inch with one little screw. When you yank on it, it breaks off right there.
Okay.
And I bought a set of them. It was $300 a piece from Doc Hudson in Ontario. And they're obsolete, like nobody has them, but right here it's broken off. There is some here. There is a, okay, there is a couple here, I think. See, they're all broken off.
Yeah.
But there's one that's not broken. And there's another one that's not broken. And this one's broken. But anyway, that's,
So those should be replated.
well, yeah. Replated is pretty expensive, but you can buy new ones.
Oh.
Doc Hudson in Ontario, Windsor, Ontario,
Yeah.
$300 a piece.
Okay.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And which is a fair amount of money, but at least it's Canadian, right? It's not American. But that is what the truck had. Yeah. But anyway, it what was I going to say? From all the places I checked in the States, nobody had handles. Nobody had handles, and none were remanufactured because there wasn't a big enough demand for them.
And Doc Hudson's in Ontario?
That's not his actual name. That's what I call him. Yeah, he lives in Windsor, Ontario. George Bruce knows him quite
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
He has warehouses full of Hudson stuff.
Really?
Yeah. But I call him Doc Hudson. He's sort of like a doc. There's nothing about Hudson's he doesn't know.
Do you have his number?
No, George does.
Okay.
But that's where I got the handles, and that's where I got my first gasket set kit and my set of rings. And I bought a few things from him,
Yeah.
but
Be a good contact to have.
he's like 90,
Yeah. Well,
but
we'll
still.
hold out against him. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing, I cleaned up the wires. I found the main computer for the motor is in the quarter panel down underneath the aerial in the bumper. And I didn't know it was there. And when I pulled it, I saw it. Saw wires going down. So I took a couple screws out of the floor, and the wire connector was all green. A couple wires were broken off, rotted right off. And there was one of the relays had a 10 amp fuse that you couldn't even recognize, the green corrosion. Anyway, I dipped everything, well, not the relay, I didn't dip it, but everything else I dipped in muriatic acid and then washed it off and blew it all out and put dielectrical grease through it and cut some of the broken wires off and put ends and hooked them together. And I haven't run it yet, but the weird thing was in the last 2 years of tuning up, I replaced almost everything related to the gas system, right straight through, or had it professionally rebuilt. And I got the car so it runs, warms up, sounds fine, turn it off, wait a few minutes, hit the key, and it starts right up. And that's with the computer, with all the wires bad. So now I got all the wires, everything all back together, and I'm charging up the battery, but I haven't even dared crank it over to see what happens now that everything's supposed to be working. But it should, the last couple of times I started it, when the motor's cold, it would not rev up. It idled way too high, and I had to come around and hold the throttle open to like 8, 9, 1,000 RPMs for like 4 minutes. I had to hold it up on fast rev, or it would go right down to about 400, and then it ran a real heavy black exhaust note. So I kept the revs up, and then after it warms up, it idles at about 8, 900 on its own and sounds fine. So maybe the computer, now that I clean those wires, maybe one of those sensors are in there might be behaving itself now. But it did not have fast idle when it was cold. I had to hold it there. And after it warmed up, it ran fine. And I started it a couple times after I turned it off when it was hot, and each time just and it was running. And that's the first time the car's ever done that. So that fuel accumulator appeared to be the problem.
Jim, how much for the lights?
You can have a couple if you want.
I buy them from you.
Okay.
$10 a piece.
I don't know.
$10 a piece.
Yeah. I don't want to sell them all because I like them, right? I like
okay.
them, but I just like, and they're freezer lights is what they are. They will come on when it's like 40 below zero.
Oh, I was thinking that.
They're made
They would
for
have to be
in
fixed.
freezers,
Oh,
like at meat plants
Okay.
when they're tearing things out. I got them. I wanted more, but they wouldn't get. That's all they gave me. But they're quite hard on. Supposedly they're hard on electricity. Like they're 1960.
Yeah.
And they were $100 a piece back in 1960. But they're freezer lights. Like you know how fluorescent lights usually don't turn on when
I
it's
just like
cold.
the round
Well,
shade.
these turn on. These turn on when it's cold. But the problem is if you have to replace the bulb, it takes like 2 people because you got to take the chrome caps off the end, then lift the glass, and that's glass. It's not plastic, it's glass.
Oh, wow.
And you got to lift it down carefully without breaking it. Then you fiddle with the light. Then you put the shell back on, and then put the 2 ends on. With like it takes 2 people to replace the light bulb. Kind of like that joke.
I know what you're saying. I'm gonna go with that, but
But anyway, you see, they turn right on.
yeah, they would look nice.
They
and
take a
have
couple
on a wall
minutes
just like
for them to warm
that.
up.
You know,
But
you
I
can
like
pick straight up
what
and
I
down.
like about them is you can look at them and they don't burn your eyes out, and they have a nice light. But once they warm up, but
Yeah.
I don't like the LED lights. Like I find every time I'm working on something, I'm constantly being blinded by them. You know, I turn my head and there they are right in my face.
That's
and
like
I
the
can't
old,
see anything.
I got I bought a couple of antique shop lights. You put the light in, but it had no backing on it, so you'd be like blinding yourself while
yeah.
you know what I mean? You got to have that back on it so you can, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like those LED flashlights that have side light and front light. If you use your thumb, it shines when you hit that one thing. It shines right in your face.
Yes.
And you're supposed to use your finger, like it shines
kitty.
down.
See the kitty?
Oh yeah, he's shy around people.
He came down the stairs. I seen him.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can.
Well, we'll just wait for a bit. I just wondered if they were sitting there. That's all. No, we'll just leave them right there for now. We'll deal with that.
Yeah, you can have 3 or 4 of them.
Well, we'll hold up a bit. See what happens. Are we ready to rock and roll?
Whatever you say.
Whenever you say. It's nice in here though, isn't it? Huh? Just along for the ride?
Oh.
Alrighty, let's head back over the house, I think. Let's head back over the house and we'll go over and unload the car. And you're welcome anytime, Jim. We're not gonna start it real soon, but yeah, we'll get it done.
Well, don't hurt yourself.
Jeez, I try not to every day. I try not to every day.
Don't hurt yourself.
Something nice in the building though, isn't it? Cool.
Yeah.
The old truck works pretty good. That starts up pretty good. Moves all right. That truck?
the come-alongs and the elm and the willow tree helped.
Are you serious?
Oh, I don't have the motor's kind of rebuilt.
Yeah.
And all the goodies for the motor, which I bought all new, everything.
Yeah.
New carburetor, distributor, water pump, everything, are still in the box. And the radiator, like it's not. I bubble wrapped the motor,
Okay.
like
He bubble wrapped it.
yeah, bubble wrapped. It. I didn't have any plastics, but I had lots of bubble wrap, so I just wrapped it. But when I put the motor together, I put fairly thick oil, like 50 weight oil on everything.
Oh yeah.
Know what I mean? Like I drowned everything in oil when I put it together and then cranked it over. I didn't use grease
I'll have to get you a can of Crown.
because I was told grease isn't good. Grease is,
I can't see you hurting anything.
well, no, grease is waterproof, which means when things rust underneath. Oil lets the metal breathe. If there's any moisture in it, it comes out through the oil. But if you put grease on it,
doesn't do
the
that.
moisture is inside will rust underneath the grease. Like if you have a crank and you put grease on the bearings and you let it sit over there, come back a couple years later, wipe the grease off and it's rust underneath. But you're supposed to use like oil or some kind of,
That's like Z-Bart.
you don't want waterproof grease. You want the air to move out of the metal. Like, because metal, like if you take a torch and
learned
heat up
something.
metal,
Yeah.
steam comes out of it, right? You know, like you almost have to put it in an oven to heat it up before you even prime, because basically you got moisture in the metal underneath your primer. You know,
Don't
but
talk that sophisticated.
you know, it's only a problem in storage. It's not usually a problem in today's, like when you do body work. Know what I mean? But
Thanks. I feel better.
you know, but in the mechanic world, if you have cylinders that have like all honed out and ready, and you're going to let it sit for 2 or 3 years before you're getting around to it, if you smear regular grease in there and come back a couple years later,
Terrible.
especially if things sweat, it'll all be rust underneath the grease. So
You know that.
you should put motor oil on it and then come back every once in a while and put more on.
I put my glasses on so the bugs can't tell.
There might be better answers. Like I'm not trying to sound like I know anything.
No,
Like,
you're just telling me don't do grease on bare metal when.
Right. Well,
Gotcha.
yes.
I got you. I'll put the Crown on.
Moisture in the metal will be trapped under the grease and it rusts.
Thank you, Jim, and we're interested to hear how that works. That's Ferrari.
Yes, I'm nervous to get it out because the second I get it out, I'm going to want to drive down the road.
No, but I want to hear how it,
Right.
how it runs with that computer on now.
I know. Yeah. Well,
That should make a hell of a difference.
well, it wasn't. It shouldn't have ran. The wires were so dirty and corroded and broken off. Like two wires were broken off, corroded right off, just hanging in the air, and all the wires had green corrosion on them.
Yeah, well, see.
And it shouldn't have worked.
What you were doing was bypassing the things that moderate it,
Yeah.
adjust it.
That's why I had to hold the throttle
exactly.
open for fast idle and
Yeah. So you were overcoming it manually, but now with it all done up, it should look tickety-boo.
well, I'll put that in my prayers.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, well, you guys, good seeing you here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always good to see you, Jim. Never a dull moment.
No, as I said, I find I have to pick my fights. I tried to move that pile of dirt with my tractor, but the blade isn't designed right. It catches. So I'm trying to come up with some kind of apparatus on the blade that would have more of a point so I can kind of scoop the piles. But when I had the buddy here to dig up the topsoil to put the gravel down for the driveway, I shouldn't have had him put it in piles. I should have had him dump it in little tiny piles. Then I could have raked it out on the lawn, because now I got sodded up piles on the lawn, and they're, you know, like I used the rake. I was out there maybe 2 minutes, and then I decided it was too much work. And the rake is back in the house, and I went back in the garage, and I went back to the house and grabbed another coffee. But what I'd like to have is some kind of grinder that I could just drop down and it would work like a snowblower and just blow the dirt out. But anyway, can't do everything.
You're there for a reason.
If I was Chad, I probably could.
You never know with Jim. I can't wait to see him driving it.
Yeah.
I want to see your hair flutter in the wind while you're driving it.
Yeah.
Are we ready to rock and roll?
Whatever you
Let's
say.
rock and roll. All right,
Okay,
Jim.
yes.
We're rock and rolling.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Don't worry.
I'm going to ask myself.
Oh, that might be bad
I'm going to
advice.
ask myself on the way home, what wouldn't you do?
Well, it depends on if it was next year, last year, or 10 years ago.
I heard
So
that.
that would have influence on it.
I had somebody in yesterday talking about you on a motorcycle. They said you drove like a granny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You said
don't
you were
know.
wide open full time.
Yeah. Yeah, things we do.
Okay.
See you,
Come
Jim.
on,
Well,
baby,
yeah.
come with us.
Take care.
Jim, you can't keep her.
No, no. I wouldn't know what to do with her anyway.
Come on. Why drop Selena Gomez off? Would you want to do with her?
Actually, I seem to have a lot of invitations. I'm not really sure
That's
what
another
to do
show.
with. Yeah, no. Anyway,
Bold
no,
and dangerous.
have fun.
See you,
Okay.
Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Yep.